I wrote this song. It's to do with
Hey folks, welcome back. OpenPaganChurch, thank you for watching. We're got a lot to cover today, and normally I tend to try to keep the topics totally separate, right, from church to United Pagan Radio, and then into Live with the Shaman in the evening. Well, today, however, the topics are one going to lead into the other. So when we cover this one, we'll go straight into Coffee with Pegasus over on UnitedPaganRadio.net, and then this evening at 8 o'clock Central Time, PM that is, we'll go into Live with the Shaman. All of you are quite welcome to join, of course. So, what is the big deal? What's the big deal about rage? What's the big deal about people who instigate that rage? They just keep pushing the buttons and keep nagging and picking, and they think it's funny, most of them. I will admit, I have an anger problem. I quit drinking and doing drugs in 1982, as some of you know. Never went back, never looked back, never wanted them. And I noticed that through the early years in my recovery, I noticed that my anger issues become a little worse. Road rage. Oh my God, road rage. People get in my face that would just really tilt me over the edge, as it were. And I don't really actually think it's a shaman thing. I think it's a people thing. It's definitely not um, a Christian thing or a Muslim thing, a pagan thing or an atheist thing. It's a people thing. Rage and anger, especially in today's time. We have so many people that are confined to a very small space. Take the neighborhood that we live in the moment. It's we were just talking about how many security cameras I have around. And of course, I'm not going to post it on an open forum, but the amount of security cameras that I have around and the fact that I have to have a security server in which to take these recordings. And I'm constantly adding cameras, this, that, and the other. And they have aided the local PD in catching some people that just want to do harm, as it were. But the reason I wanted to do uh, rage instigation or the instigating of rage is it's very dangerous, right? Right now, I don't know about your state or your country or where you're from, but I can tell you right now in North Texas, which is where I live, just west, or I'm sorry, just north of Dallas, there are occurrences daily. There are occurrences daily of road rage. People that are getting shot because they either accidentally or on purpose or just plain being stupid sent someone on the freeway into a road rage. And it's dangerous. It's scary. There have been several cases in road rage of people going around just shooting up cars. People have been shot driving down the road because they cut somebody off. Now, in my earlier days, I'll be the first one to admit I was bad with road rage. When I was in my 20s, I had been known to follow people home. Ask them, would you like me to stomp your butt? I didn't say butt, but I'm trying to clean it up because this is a family program. And through the years, I've learned that's not conducive to healthy living. And I found myself, since we've moved up here, I drive 45 minutes to work, 30 minutes if there's absolutely no traffic, um, hour and a half or an hour if I leave 30 minutes later than I normally do. It's insane. But leaving when I do in the morning, I can get on a 8-lane freeway, okay? 8 lanes because there's 4 going to the south and there's 4 going to the north, right? And the speed limit is 70, which is good. And I usually set my cruise control within the legal limits. Within the legal limits. And I generally try to stay 1 lane in from the left. Because the left lane is, as we know, supposed to be for passing traffic or faster traffic, as it were. And even at the time of the morning which I leave, and this is what kind of prompted me to start doing this little internal research, this study, if you will, over the last couple of years of road rage instigation, instigating people on the highways just to piss them off, doing things just because it makes people angry. And then when they do come across someone that has anger management issues that are real easily tripped off on the highway and turned into road rage, and they want to shove your ass into the concrete wall, then they want to play the victim. Well, this person attacked me. This person shoved me into the wall, what have you, whatever. And when in all reality, no one ever asked them, what did you do to the other driver? Case in point, in America, the left lane on a 4-lane road, or 4-lane and above. When we say 4-lane, we mean 2 on one side and 2 on the other. Okay? Now follow me on this. The left lane is for faster drivers and passing only. Standard traffic is always supposed to stay in the right-hand lane, right? Well, the people that I'm talking about get into the left lane and they want to go 50. And they don't use their cruise control. And the way you know they don't use their cruise control is when you come up on them and you get an opening to go out and go around them. Well, when you try to get out and go around them, they want to speed up. That is rage instigation. That is instigating road rage. Granted, it's being a butthole, but at the end of it, it's instigating that road rage. It is causing someone else anger where there really shouldn't have to be. Okay? And I could go on and on and on about road rage and drivers that just really don't care. Now, are they uneducated in the ways of the road? I don't know. Do they know better and are just stupid and don't care? I don't know. I would say I don't care, but I do, because on a daily basis I get caught up and surrounded by these idiots that there's 2 car lengths, right? 2 car lengths between the person in the lane that you want to move into and the person that's in front of them. You follow the law. You do the right thing. You put your blinker on. You allow your blinker to blink 3 times, which is in Texas, you allow your blinker to blink 3 times and then you move over. The person is required to give you right of way. Nope. Nope. When you put your blinker on, you just became a target. The idiot that was 2 car lengths between them and the car in front of them in traffic, right? You go to move over, they want to speed up. They want to speed up and they want to get in your blind spot or just off the edge of your bumper. So if you hit them, they can say it's your fault. That is instigating road rage. Okay? Now, so we think about that. People that live in their daily lives, there are people out there that do that same basic thing for morbid enjoyment, morbid pleasure. All they want to do is poke and prick and prod at people until they make them angry. That's not good for anyone. It's not funny. I grew up with old-fashioned slapstick comedy where it was funny as hell for someone to get a piano dropped on their head, where the Three Stooges smacked and beat and smacked on each other all the time. Oh, by the way, if you don't know who the Three Stooges are, Google it. The Three Stooges. They're hilarious. So, slapstick comedy is different from instigating rage. Picking or nagging at someone until they flip a cog, until they go off, right? And then when they go off and knock the hell out of somebody, the person that they hit suddenly wants to be the victim. I have encountered this more times than I care to admit. I've had jobs where people sitting around you would figure out a person's weak spot, right? They would figure out what made that person angry. And instead of doing their jobs and taking care of business, they would figure out ways to instigate that fellow employee until they sharted off on them. And then when they sharted off on them, they wanted to go running to the manager with an HR issue. The job I had prior to this one, we had a guy that sit across the row from a really good. This young man was a damn good technician. He had some anger issues. He had some major anger issues, but he was good with the customers and he was good with fellow employees. However, we had this little dweeb that sit across the aisle from him, and he would continuously badger this gentleman until eventually the man snapped. The man got up, reached an arm out, and wiped everything off of the guy's desk into his lap, except for the computer and the monitor. I think that's the only thing that saved him. And he got in his face and he said, "If you don't leave me alone, I am going to stomp a mud hole in your ass." And he stood up, brushed himself off, pulled his pants up, and walked to the manager's office. What's he going to do? There's cameras all around. He's already been videoed essentially assaulting, if you will, another employee. I followed him. I put myself in aux on the phones, put myself in a break. I followed him. And two team leads also followed him into the manager's office. And we all sat down and had a set to. 2 days later, the guy that was doing the instigation was fired. He was fired under the inciting a riot law. I like it. Inciting a riot in America is illegal. They don't enforce it a whole lot, obviously. But that is a very rare occurrence when a rage instigator, or a crapster, shitster as we like to call them, actually got what was coming to them. So much of the time, people that instigate rage get away with it. They get by with it. Because the person that they've been instigating and attacking strike back. And I just got attacked by my headset wire. Um, so it gets really tough because you have to deal with these people that instigate rage. How do you do it? Well, if if what I call instigated rage is brought on by others' actions, inactions, words, just generally pick and poke and prod, just because they think it's funny when you get angry and turn red in the face and want to cut someone's head off. There are ways to handle that. And for those of us with anger management issues, it's not easy. Again, in America, on an 8-hour day, okay, on a 9-hour work day, right? You get two 15-minute breaks and a 1-hour lunch. So essentially, every 2 hours, you get away, right? So if we take me, for example, I work 7 to 4, right? Well, I get a break at 9, lunch at 11, and another break at 2 because I get off at 4. That gives you a few minutes away from the phones, away from the people, away from the instigators, and away from the troublemakers, right? But there's a key term, there's a key word that I have always used in every form of counseling I've ever done, okay? Anger management, depressive spiraling. This is where you get depressed and you just keep spiraling. You wind yourself up to the point where eventually you're just on a downhill slide. There's a key word, and I can tell, I know most of the people in the room right now, and I would imagine several of them remember that key word. It's a single word. Just a single word that can help you manage your anger, your rage. Now, I first want you to understand rage. A lot of people don't really actually understand the danger of rage. You have anger, okay? You have pissed off. And then you have rage. Now, some people will go pissed off, angry, rage. We can go either way. I'm fine either way, it doesn't matter. But semantically speaking, rage is at the top of the scale. Rage is where you have reached the point where your eyes haze over. You may get a little pale. Me, I get red. Right here, my cheeks glow red like Rudolph, the red cheek reindeer. Or is that the red-nosed reindeer? Either way, rage. It's dangerous. It's not only dangerous for you, but it's dangerous for the target as well. But it's even more dangerous for you because, like I said, the target is almost always going to play the victim because they instigated the rage to begin with. Yep, Debbie says rage is when you lose control. Absolutely. Rage is at the top of the scale where you've blanked out, you've hazed out, You've gone completely BSC, and that stands for batshit crazy, and you literally have reached the point of no return. Now, I have to say, pat myself on the back, it has been many, many, many years since I have gotten to the point where I have lost total control. Cindy says Paul gets rage and he blacks out and doesn't remember. Absolutely, absolutely. That is a common. That's a common denominator in rage. Anybody remember what the power word is to get out of it? And you're going to think it's crazy. You're going to think, what good is that? What does it take to break the momentum of rage? Right? It only takes 2 seconds to break the momentum of rage. There's one, right? There's one. Everybody look in the chat room. There's one. It only takes 2 seconds to break the momentum of rage. Now, as a spiritual counselor, I use that power word right there a lot if I am dealing with someone in a rage. And guess who else I use it on? Myself. A lot. I am very easy. I have the training and the knowledge to flip another driver's automobile. I have the training and the knowledge to know how to, with very little damage to my own vehicle, shove the instigating driver up a brick wall embankment. I don't want that karma. I don't want to have to deal with the law and the paperwork that goes with it. The power word, ladies and gentlemen, is stop. It's a very simple word with a great big meaning and a whole lot of power if done correctly. The way you use it on yourself is it's always right back here. I keep mine in the frontal lobe. I keep mine where it's real easy to get to. And when I find myself slipping into that rage, I have been known to use a poor tabletop and slam down on that tabletop. I'm not going to do it because I have 2 computers sitting behind my monitors, and the last thing I want to do is fry those hard drives from that much impact. But you slam down on that tabletop and you holler no to yourself. If you have to vocalize it, if you have to verbally say no, Debbie says if done correctly, it ends up in a black eye. Well, this is true. But now, well, no, wait, you're supposed to hit your hand on the table, not in your own face. Or is that what we're talking about? You're also not supposed to beat your head against a wall. I've been known to do that too, but I was like way younger. Maybe that's what's wrong with me. Who knows? So, understanding where rage comes from and understanding the tools that are used to perpetrate rage can truly help control your own rage when other individuals are attempting to instigate that rage. Now, I've had people ask me, Don, you're major when it comes to road rage. Yeah. How have you gotten around it? Well, honestly, it's not as hard as I thought it was. Once I actually found the key, once I found the trigger and what it is in road rage that sets me off, once I found the trigger, then I had control of it. Let me give you my triggers. I'm going to give you my triggers. We're going to go to a break. And then when we come back from the break, I'm going to talk a little bit about how to handle these triggers. Right? Got it? Everybody cool? All right. So here's some triggers, and I'm going to use road rage. And then I'll move in to environmental triggers. Right? Road rage, cutting you off, pulling out in front of you, being in a big hurry to pull out in front of traffic, and then doing 10 or 15 miles an hour under the speed limit once you pulled out into traffic. Refusing to allow people to go around you, even though knowing you're in a slower lane, people want to go around you and you speed up to keep them from going around you. Knowing that you could care less how fast you were going, you just want to be an asshole. Those are road rage triggers. They're dangerous. They get people hurt on a daily basis. And environmental triggers. Environmental rage triggers. Doing things that you know are going to just irritate the hell out of your partner or your spouse or your housemate, whatever. Not doing things you know you should be doing when you know they're supposed to be done anyway. But essentially your reason for doing them is not that you don't feel good or you can't or you haven't had time. It's just not doing it because it'll piss off your mate or your housemate, your spouse or whatever, whoever you live with, whatever, right? So when you get into these environmental rage triggers, there's a boatload of them. A boatload of them. So, hang tight, have a message. Hold that thought. Yes, absolutely, I will. When we come back from the break, we're going to talk about how to handle these triggers. What to do to change our reaction to other people's actions. How many times have I said that over the years? You can change your reactions to others' actions with a thought process. But it begins with that one word. Stop. We'll be back here on OpenPaganChurch in just a short as soon as I can remember which button I need to click, which switch I need to flip, and here we go. My voice casts magic over this land. I'm dancing my palace, I am the green man. Oh, I'm all around you, you just have to see. I'm fading now, please don't forget about me. You're raping, you're stealing, you plunder this land. Again, this morning we're talking about rage instigation, instigators of rage, right? First off, I want to thank everybody for watching the live broadcast here on OpenPaganChurch. This morning we're talking about rage instigation, the instigators of rage, and the people that instigate that rage and how to deal with it. And like I say, I do want to put a plug in because our topic is going to flow from here into the UnitedPaganRadio.net webpage where we do a radio show called Coffee with Pegasus. In that, we're going to be talking about handling your environmental energy, what environmental energy is and how it works. And then this evening at 8 p.m. Central Time on Live with the Shaman, we're going to be talking about incorporating how to deal with the rage instigators, the environmental energy that really can instigate and build on that rage, and how to deal with it. So that's this evening on Live with the Shaman. Right. So that being said, I want to start this segment. Now, this is how to deal with it. We talked about the power word stop, right? And it seems like a very simplistic little word, but it's really a powerful thing because it gives you that 2 seconds to breathe and regroup. To breathe and regroup when you're in a rage situation, most especially that is instigated by someone or something outside. When you've got that little niggle going on, right? You got that little person in the background, and they're nibbling on you. Well, one of the statements that comes in through IM says, will you be covering the fact that in so many situations, changing your perspective changes the rage value? I like that. Absolutely. We all know, or we all should know, that 99% of truth is perception. Okay, I'll say that again. 99% of all truth is perception. Therein, there's 3 sides to every truth, right? There's my side of the truth, or my perspective, perception, what have you. There's your side of the truth, perspective, perception, what have you. And then there is that little tiny sliver of fact. What actually happened? What was actually said? What was actually done or not done to cause the issue? Now, when we have a situation, there's one particular rage that I hadn't covered. And that this actually does go in to dealing with rage. That is situational rage. Situational rage are things that are going on in the household on a day-to-day basis. The actions and interactions of different people in a household or a job, on the road, whatever, what have you. Sitting out at the park for family day, and you have situational issues that might compound your rage. So much of the time, situational rage has absolutely nothing to do with you. So much of the time, situational rage comes up or comes upon you because you are tossed into someone else's situation. And there are issues that you have no control of that you happen to get caught up in. Dave says Sometimes rage is justified if someone crosses the line with your family, etc. No, sir, I disagree. And let me explain why. Rage is the loss of control. Okay? So let's start with that. Anger can be justified. Pissed off can be justified. Rage, rage is the amount of anger where you have lost control. Rage is not justified. Now, the law, depending on where you're at, right? Depending on where you're at, rage, let's say someone breaks into my house and attacks my wife or my daughter, and I take them out. I'm not going to stand there and duke it out with you. I'm just going to take you out and call it done. Worry about the paperwork later. With my training, with the training that I have in self-defense and martial arts, I don't allow myself to get to a rage, because if I do, I've lost. I no longer have control over the situation. The law usually puts that down as self-defense or justifiable homicide. Not going to get into the law and what it means and all of this. I'm just saying. Okay? But that's the variable of rage, right? Where you've lost control. Now, let's talk about handling of it. Okay? Well, to me, and to everyone out there, it may be a little bit different, but everyone that I have ever counseled, once they've understood, stop. Once they've understood, stop what you're doing. Stop your reaction, stop your momentum, stop what you're doing, and by all means, stop the thought processes that the rage has allowed you to go down. Stop. Take a deep breath. Let it out slow. And what I tend to do is, if my problem is an individual and they're doing the jibby 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 nag 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 jibby 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 shit, I'll take a deep breath. If I'm sitting down, I will put my hands on my knees, because I know that's a good neutral stance. And I will look at them. And I'll shut up. And I just look at them. And I say, okay, there's a couple of ways we can handle this. And at this point, my voice is calm. It's unfeeling. There's no emotion. I have changed my perspective on the situation. I've stopped the momentum of my rage. And I either tell the individual at hand, you need to leave, or I am done and have nothing else to say to you, at which case it always sets them off. The rage instigators will always just really want to go stupid. They want to push that button. They want to shove that railroad tie off of that mountain. They want to push you over the mountain with it because you're no longer you're no longer reacting to their actions. You're no longer allowing that person to have an effect over your emotion. And when I've reached a point of no return with someone, I just simply quit. So the way I handle stopping that rage momentum, the way I handle stopping and changing the perspective, right, of the situation, stopping the momentum of the rage. Now, back in my 20s and 30s, I'd just knock shit out of it and get it over with. Call it done. Whack, done. Well, I can't do that anymore. Number one, it's too expensive. Number two, I've broken entirely too many knuckles over the years. I don't heal as fast as I used to. Well, you can't really see it, but that was the last project we did here at the house. I don't heal as fast as I used to. And I've learned that excessive loss of control is costly. So I stop. Task one, stop. Breathe. Change perspective. And regain control. And you fall into this ability, and it takes practice. I promise. Those of you that have anger management issues, it takes practice. It doesn't happen overnight. But, like I said a while ago, right? I've explained my actions of where I'm going with this, right? If I have an individual that's sitting there, I just look at them. And I just quit. There are times I will just sit back in my chair and cross my arms in a non-interlocking fashion, okay? Because a lot of people sees this as a threatening reaction. This, on the other hand, is known as a non-blocking, non-threatening reaction. And I just look at them. And when they're done yammer, because eventually they do run out of things to say. It may take them 10 or 15 minutes, but eventually, if you stop letting it make you angry, you find it quite comical. Don't laugh at them. Don't become the instigator of rage. Okay? Don't laugh at them. Don't make threats. If the person or persons are on my property or in my home, I just simply look at them and say, you really need to leave now. And if they don't leave, and if they don't do as asked, I just tell them, this conversation is done. You're in my home. I respectfully ask that you leave. Now, it never fails. The person that is attacking you or instigating the rage, right, to get a reaction out of you, it never fails. They will always reply with, well, what are you going to do, huh? What are you going to do, huh? Well, I am going to ask you one more time to leave my home, to go away. And then, if you don't, whoever, my wife, friend that happens to be there, whoever happens to be there, I'm going to ask so-and-so to dial 911 and tell them that there is a trespasser in our home that has been asked to leave. The next step is I'm going to shoot them. Every cop within a 50-mile radius will be at your home in 5 minutes. They come out of nowhere. I have a gun somewhere. Yes, I have a gun. It is put up so well, not even I remember where the damn thing is. But that's not the point. In order to say you're going to shoot someone, you must own a gun, a firearm. Generally, I make sure I have something heavy to hand. And after this has been said, now keep in mind, I'm not in a rage anymore. I have changed my perspective. I've took a deep breath. I've calmed down. I could give a shit less at this point. Whoever's standing there is now an adversary threatening me, my home, and my family, or my friends, or all the above. And it never fails. They will lean in and try to get in your face. 2 cup hands to the ears, 1 crick knife hand to the throat. Problem solved. The issue resulted in a physical altercation. But the victim is no longer the victim. The person that instigated the rage, because of the way you handled it, the person that instigated the rage is now the attacker. You are the victim. But I do warn you, know what you're doing. So that essentially, if you can't ignore your way out of a rage situation, I would say a good 95% of the time you can ignore your way out of a rage situation. Like it was said earlier, you can change your perspective to get your way out of a rage situation. Change your reactions to their actions to get yourself out of a rage situation. And the most important thing, stop. Stop the momentum of reacting to someone who's instigating rage. Stop the way you allow that reaction to affect you. Stop the way you allow that other person's instigation to affect you. So, through changing these things in yourself, most of the time you can curve yourself away from or out of harm's way in a situation that could get you, your family, and others around you hurt or harmed, whatever. Well, I've noticed we've got some old faces in the room. Welcome to you all. Open Pagan Church, welcome to all. Whoever comes in, come on. Kick in your ideas, your thoughts, your opinions, as long as they're respectful. We are going to take a final break here in just a moment. And then we're going to try to finish up Rage. We're going to try to finish up sorry. I was picking a video to play during the break and I was reading the caption. I thought it kind of cool. Anyway, where was I going? Oh, I digress. We're going to take a quick break, let my voice rest for a minute. We're going to come back and finish up today's broadcast in Rage instigation. And then at, like I say, 11 o'clock Central Time, 12 Eastern, we will be sliding over to UnitedPaganRadio.net for handling environmental energy. We'll see you there. We'll see you right back here in just a few minutes. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast here on Open Pagan Church. Thanks for watching. We'll be right back.
Shines upon me. If I just close my eyes, a vision I see coming for me, and you're right by my side. No, I don't wanna die today. I don't want my life taken away. This has to be the raven I see in this fields of despair. I won't go easily. Oh, bird, fly over me and pretend you don't see that I'm there. Feathered lady, so take her. I'm begging you, please don't stay. Now on the noon of this day, drums fill the air, the sun is there and it shines upon me. Oh, I can't close my eyes, the vision I see. They're coming for me and you're flying by their side. No, I don't wanna die today. I don't want my life taken away. This raven I see, this has to be. In these fields of despair, I won't go easily. Fly over me and pretend you don't see that I'm there.
All right, and we're back with you. Open Pagan Church every Sunday, right here. One of us I missed last week. I want to thank Cindy and Clint for stepping up to the plate, taking the shows for me for those 2 days. And definitely want to thank Randy, the owner of UnitedPaganRadio.net, for being so understanding, right? Put that plug in for them. And Camille just posted in the chat area, UnitedPaganRadio.net, which is where we'll be going straight from here, over there, right after our broadcast here. And then this evening, on Live with a Shaman, anyone's welcome to join. If you don't know how to get to it, you can go to any one of my pages on my site, whatever, or you can just search in Facebook Live with the Shaman, right? So that's that. What have we learned today about rage instigation? The instigation of rage, or instigating rage. Now, I want to finish with and I mean, I'll own it, I'm a practical joker. I love to have fun with people. I love to have fun. When we used to have the circle down south, we had a blast. We picked on each other, we drummed, we ate till we were stupid. We sit in circle, we did circle, you know. We had a blast. We had some bad times, we had some assholes, but they didn't last long, they didn't stick around long. But how do you, or how do I, not become straws? Cindy says straws. Anyway, how do I not become a rage instigator? How do I not become someone who is a part of the problem, but more a part of the solution? And, right, not me, practical joker, haha. But how do I become a part of the solution and not a part of the problem? Well, it starts by changing my reactions to other people's actions. It goes on through being able to, like Debbie said earlier, changing your perspective on your situation, your situational environment, or your environmental situation, however you want to put it. When you find yourself getting into an argument, and so many arguments start out with a debate, a differencing of opinions or ideas, right? And someone says something, and they may say it, and it may sound a little rude, or a little dry, or a little disrespectful. But one of the things I always had to do in circle was keep a balance, right? When we would circle up for the HOP for church on Sunday, I had to keep a constant balance because let me tell you, human beings are very fickle creatures. And again, this entire topic has nothing to do with religious preference. It doesn't. It has nothing to do with national origin, the color of your skin, your lifestyle, uh, whatever. It has to do with being human. Humans are very fickle creatures, to say the least. And keeping a balance in a conversation that could also very easily become an argument, and that argument become a fight, then nobody learns anything. When you've got two, three, four, six, whatever people in a circle or at a table or in a conversation, wherever the hell you're at, and all they're doing is well, eventually all you hear is that's all you hear. Nobody's saying anything. All they're doing is everybody's trying to talk over everybody else, and that doesn't accomplish a damn thing. So, somebody has to shut up. Somebody has to shut up. And it's amazing what will happen. And this is weird. I haven't seen it happen in a room of people, okay? But I've seen it happen in several circles. If you can get 2 or 3 people, just go to a neutral stance. Don't do this, because that's an instigation within itself by body language. Just go to a neutral stance, or just put your hands on the arm of your chair. And if you smoke cigarettes, light one up. If you vape, vape away. And just shut up and sit back. And listen. Listen to what's being said. If you get enough people to shut up and sit back, it changes the momentum of the argument. It changes the momentum of the argument in such a way that all of a sudden, nobody remembers what the hell they were arguing about, or where the shit the topic come from, or where it started. And it works. What's the power word again? Stop. Stop. Stop perpetrating the rage. Stop reacting to the rage. And stop becoming a part of the problem and become a part of the solution. You'll learn. It takes time. It doesn't happen overnight. But as you begin to change that thought processes, guys are giving me a hard time over here. Something about a straw. I don't remember what the hell they're talking about. But anyway. Yeah. Change your reaction to their actions. It sounds so damn very simple. It really does. It sounds so simple just to stop. It sounds simple. Change your reaction to others' actions. It sounds easy as hell. But I'm here to tell you, it's not. It's not simple. Oh, Dale and my straw, and now that's just wrong. Now I remember. No, no. See, I thought I'd gotten rid of that visual. I thought that was long ago gone. That's just wrong. Anyway, what the hell was I talking about? Shit. Now I'm derailed. Anyway, we are 20 minutes before the hour, right? And I'm going to give you part of your Sunday back because I'm going to uh, get, get ready for the internet radio program, and then I've got some things I need to do around here at the house before our broadcast this evening on Live with the Shaman. But I want to leave you with this. Always remember, you are responsible for your own actions. Yes. At the end of the day, when someone does something and you react instantaneously, you may convalidate your reaction because of what someone else did. But at the end of the day, the person staring back at you in the mirror is responsible for what was done. I've been many years ago in situations where I had to use guns on other individuals. It was part of what I was into at the time. And yes, it was legal. But I had to come to the realization that I am responsible for my actions and my reactions. Now, the legal system is written so that it can go down as self-defense or other forms of legalities. But if you instigate anger on another individual and you instigate that anger to the point where they snap and try to harm you or others, they're responsible for their actions at the end of the day, absolutely. But you know what? You're just as responsible because you instigated and nitpicked until that person or that group of people snapped. Remember that. Rage instigation is never anything nice. It's never anything pretty. And it is something that human beings do to each other at the drop of a hat. And some people, sadly, think it's funny. They do. Only you can change your perspective, and only you can change your actions and reactions to others. Pay attention to your environmental energy, which we'll be talking about shortly, and again this evening. We hope to see you next week here on Open Pagan Church. Open to all. Hope you join us. Have a great Sunday. If you don't make it to the radio station, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day and have a wonderful week. Blessings from Open Pagan Church, from our family to yours. Have a great day.